Hello, everybody, and welcome to week number 3 of the Outcast Ordo Dark Heresy campaign. We will be starting off with our regular cast. They're still aboard the Black Comet on their way to... Do you guys remember which planet you're heading towards?
Omicron Persei 8? No, I have no idea.
Sepphoris Secundus?
Sepphoris Secundus. Your Inquisitor, whose name is...
Ragu Chicken tonight?
Ragu Chicken Tonight.
Saturnus or Venus.
Chicken
Or
tonight?
Ragu Chicken Tonight, or as he prefers to be called, Inquisitor Ragul Saturnius or Vitrus.
That's right.
Yeah. Or
That's
that.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Hungry for ragu now.
You've recently gotten out of the lower levels where you were slumming it with the kind of brain-dead, not quite servitors, almost servitors, that kind of...
Not good enough to be servitors.
You know what? I kind of see these people as the... Servitors are usually criminals who've had their minds wiped and turned into servitors. These were criminals, but they didn't quite need that many servitors, so they just wiped their minds.
And then didn't put them to use.
Put them to work. So you finally got out of there. Reparo escaped upstairs and kind of ran into another tech priest who was very confused that he was down that lower level. Turned out there was an administrative mistake that he ended up being... You guys ended up being assigned to quarters on that level. You should have been assigned quarters on level 6, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
6, yes.
Yes. So you guys got your quarters on level 6. Shortly after arriving there, you received a message from your Inquisitor sending you to Sepphoris Secundus. And you ended... Eli attempted to sell an Adeptus Mechanicus... what the heck is it? An arm, an attachment.
Utility Mechadendrite.
A Mechadendrite, thank you. A utility
A
Mechadendrite.
sacred Mechadendrite.
Which is sacred to the holy priest of Mars. And everybody he tried to sell it to kind of freaked out. He returned and gave it to the tech priest, who is probably the only one actually authorized to have such a sacred piece of technology in their possession. Also the only one that can actually make use of it. And so you guys are sitting in your quarters. And my dog's growling at me for some reason. Apparently he's not liking the story. You're sitting in your quarters. Just after... What happened, like, you returned, gave him the arm, and kind of said...
The lady showed up.
Oh, the lady showed up. You had your divinations read, which
Yep.
is usually a sacred ritual completed after your training as an acolyte. However, because you're going to be sent into battle before reaching the training planet, the Inquisitor sent him early, or her early. Now, in the last couple of sessions, you guys have earned some experience. So, Nico, what kind of advancements has your character taken?
I took, let me just note that, mostly navigational stuff. I grabbed navigation, surface navigation, so I can read maps and whatnot. And I also grabbed tracking. And in addition to that, I increased my agility. And I also got this skill, shadowing.
Shadowing sounds interesting. What does that do?
So it's kind of like if you could move silently and concealed at the same time, trying to follow somebody, you would shadow them.
Okay.
So I do both within one skill.
Sweet. That's pretty cool.
And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for those.
Okay. Eli, what kind of new abilities have you obtained?
I gained several new powers.
So your connection to the warp has grown stronger.
Yes. Now I worked off of what I experienced in my vision.
Excellent.
I can now float up in the air. I can't yet send the balls of force out to crush people, but I'm working on it.
Balls of force.
Also, force. You got that too.
Heck yeah. I am now also
Fear
able
my
to
balls of force.
bend gravity to my will to walk along walls and ceilings.
Nice.
Balls of steel.
I can get rid of those pesky cameras and other people that might be able to detect me.
How do you do that again? Just out of curiosity.
White noise, and it's
Okay.
called Psyker powers or magic. I don't get to explain nothing.
I'm just wondering. how you
Unnatural
do it.
aim. I'm a marksman now, just like our other sniper,
Really?
which is basically true shot. Yeah, it gives me a plus 30 to my ballistic skill for my next shot.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So do you have to trigger that the round ahead?
Yep.
Cool.
It counts as like point blank.
Nice.
Yeah.
So in addition to any other bonuses, you get the point blank range bonus?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I can't talk tonight.
Touch of Madness
New Psyker spell Touch of Madness.
and Deceive as my new skill. I figured it was fitting.
Yeah. So Touch of Madness, you can actually inflict mental traumas.
Yes.
And then what is Deceive that you do?
Well, to expand on that further, Touch of Madness, I now actually have an ability that allows me to inflict the mental traumas that I've already been inflicting up to this point.
Mostly
And
on
Deceive,
the
mostly on the DM. And Deceive is to convince the DM afterwards that I didn't do it.
DM. Excellent. That sounds amazing. Oh, Deceive's a skill, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. You're going to be fun to deal with.
I didn't do it. It's okay. And you've never seen me before anyway.
Who was I just talking to? Reparo. How is Reparo coming along?
Great. We actually repaired my sheet and fixed things that should have been fixed
So,
previously. Added some abilities that I should have had from the get-go, and since we're sort of still rolling with the whole dynamics of the game,
yeah.
sort of put the skills in there where they should be. I've got some more tech skills, some lore tech, for those crazy lore checks that I should be making that I haven't been.
Awesome.
Binary chatter, which gives me a plus 10 bonus to instruct and program servitors. Logic for, I think it was complex equations or something, or mathematical situations.
Awesome.
Evaluate, which is sort of like an identify, can usually tell you, assess the value. I gained some base stats, plus 5 to my intellect. I added some more to my common lore tech, so I added another 10 points to that, so I can actually interface with things I'm supposed to be able to.
Sweet.
Security, regarding picking locks, I believe we decided it was going to be.
Yeah, so you can both use a tech use on a digital type lock to get through it, or you could use a security check to kind of just override the mechanical components.
Yeah, exactly. And technical knock, which I believe lets me unjam a jammed gun once per turn.
Yeah, once per round as a half action, you can unjam a jam gun, which is kind of cool. So not only do you have your sacred oil, you also have this ability just by touch.
Kind of a big deal. I
Yeah.
don't brag, but many other bound books.
Great. Another priest that's good at touching things.
Wonderful. Someone, I won't say what I was going to say. At the end of the last session, we also began thinking about some bonds. So, Nico, you have a bond now?
Yeah. So one of my bonds, I actually did have two.
Okay.
One was that Reparo has much to show me or teach me about the warp, or not the warp, the machine spirit. Sorry,
Okay.
let me say that again.
The Omnisaya.
Has much to teach me about the machine spirit Messiah. And the other one was I have much to teach Eli about anger.
I'm just giggling because that is almost like word for word a bond that is in another Dark Heresy campaign. Character name and everything. About anger?
Yep.
Cool. Okay. We said we are going to go up to 3 as we thought of them, so you've already got 2. That's perfect. Eli.
I have one so far.
Okay.
I will soothe Nico's concerns about my involvement with the perils of the warp. Need to make him more comfortable with what I do.
Perfect. And Reparo. How is your bond?
My bond's sort of the reciprocate to Nicodemus's bond, where I'm gonna teach him more. I must teach him about the Omnisaya or Deus Mechanicus.
Awesome. That'll work out well. So if you manage to resolve a bond at the end of the session and both characters involved agree that it's resolved, it's 100 XP.
Okay.
And then you'll replace it with a new bond. At any point,
Immediately or like at the end of the...
What's that?
Immediately or at the end?
At the end.
Okay.
So when you say that you resolved the bond, you can then replace it with a new one at the end of the session. If you feel like a bond has become unresolvable, you can at the end of the session just drop it and replace it.
Okay.
Okay. So that takes care of our kind of pre-session housekeeping. So you guys are sitting in your cabin. You've been advised that tomorrow, sometime tomorrow, you'll be shipping out or you'll be transported down to Sephiroth Secundus. The warp, or the ship should arrive there sometime. What would you like to do in the meantime?
I'm gonna do nothing right now. This place looks like it's not my kind of scene.
Okay.
So for now, I'm doing nothing.
Okay. Do you have like a relic or anything that you took with you from your home planet?
Me?
Yeah.
Define relic as far as...
It's kind of like just a small item or piece that you took from your home planet. You have your dice, correct, Eli?
Yep.
Yeah, something like that. Do you have anything like that?
Mm,
Just asking if you're like maybe fiddling with something or doing something while you wait.
I got my gun.
Ah, that makes perfect sense. Now, do you have a name for your gun?
Possibly I haven't come up with one yet.
Okay. I'll give you something to think about. So you're cleaning and preparing, and this would be your rifle, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
I'll probably go down to the market there. And
So you're going to
ply
venture
my
back
trade.
to the market where you've terrified the poor vendors.
I don't exist.
They could still remember you.
I'm going to go to the other side of the market and be a soothsayer.
Okay.
Ply my trade.
So now, what you guys have seen so far is the market on level 6 extends 3 levels up. So where there would normally be 2 other levels above, they end, and you can see balconies for levels 5 and level 6. They have railings and stairwells on either side that come down. You've kind of been segregated in the far right hand side when you enter into the market, and it kind of opens up and expands the rest of the size or the rest of the width of the ship. The ship is half a kilometer wide. So that's sorry, can someone do math for my poor American friend? 500 meters.
Okay.
So so you're going to the market,
Yep.
and you were attempting a
Little
soothsayer.
piggy went to the market.
Yep.
And what does soothsayer do?
That's where I tried to read fortunes of people
Okay.
for a fee.
So you kind of set up like a little ad hoc. You just found a small space and set up like almost like a 3-card Monty type setup. Except you're reading. You're using your dice. Your dice, I'm assuming, to perform these reads.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, and so you're rolling that against your what?
A 33.
Okay, so that's quite a couple degrees of failure.
Yeah.
So you attract a couple people who don't seem, or at first they seem kind of interested in what you're doing, but then as you attempt to give them their fortunes, they kind of don't believe you and think you're full of it, and they take off.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun too. And yes, the baby you have will be. I'm a man. Oops.
Awesome. Would you like to do anything else in the market?
Well, I screw that up. I'll see if anybody wants to gamble. If there's any gambling to be done.
Okay, so what kind of people are you looking to approach to gamble?
Lower ranking officers, people with a little bit of money. Anyone trying to blow off steam.
Okay, so are you looking for... Okay, so here's what you see. You see a number of crew walking around. Some are wearing overalls.
Mm-hmm.
Some are wearing well-kept uniforms. And others are wearing similar styled uniforms except camo. Camo patterns are on them. Which one would you like to approach?
Camo patterns.
Okay. So you approach one of the boarding parties, or one of the troops of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So you just walk up to him. What do you say?
Is there a place around here where we can get in a game of chance?
A game of chance, you say. Kind of stuff. What kind of games of chance are you interested in?
I mostly prefer games involving dice.
Oh, a dice thrower. Head over to the starboard side of the market. You'll find an establishment that specializes in what you're interested in.
Oh, sweet. Thank you kindly, sir. And I
No
head that
problem.
way.
You head over
I'll
there.
trot
I'm
over
assuming?
there. Yep.
Okay, so you see towards the outsides of the market are actual almost like buildings, they look like. They would be normally crew quarters, but they can converted into almost like storefront facades, not your normal vendor tables that are out in the middle. And you see one that has the big picture of dice on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you walk in.
Yep.
Okay, you see a number of tables and officers of all kinds sitting around. Regular crew, deck officers, and the military personnel. They seem to mostly be grouped in their particular assignments on the ship. Where would you like to approach?
The second richest looking table. Where the most money's on the table.
Where the most money's on the table.
Mhm.
Okay.
The second largest pile.
Second largest. Second largest? Okay, so you walk
Yep.
up to the deck officers.
Mm-hmm.
They're sitting around the table. There's an empty chair. They don't pay any attention to you at the moment.
I ask them if they mind if I buy in.
One of them looks up and says, your money's as good as any, yeah?
All right. Looking at it, how much does it look like they're putting in to start?
They don't make a lot, so maybe 3 or 4 thrown grout to hand.
All right. I take out my dice. I need to make a check too. Let's see.
Now, what game do you see them playing?
I'm assuming it involves throwing dice.
Is that your gamble check?
I have no idea. That's my. What is my gamble check?
What did you just roll against?
That's my. Oh, that's my invocation.
Okay.
Would you remember every time I say I shake my dice to make my stuff better?
Okay.
I have to make a check, I found out. That's what my 52 invocation is.
Okay, so you succeeded on your invocation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what does that do to your skills?
Now I can add the double willpower bonus safely.
Okay. To any skill?
To any psi ability.
Oh, okay.
What did I do here? Okay.
So they go around and they each throw in one thrown gout and it gets to you.
I throw in my throne guild.
Okay.
Right before I'm watching them. Before it's going to be my turn, I'm going to enact my trick.
Okay. So they each roll their gamble. There's 3 of them at the table, 4 including you.
Mm-hmm.
What page is gamble on?
It's a skill, intelligence based. Let me scroll over here. Looks like it is on page 103.
Okay.
Let's just
First
hope for no perils in the
guy
warp.
gambles. Second guy rolls his die. It's not looking pretty good. First guy's looked a little bit worse.
Worse good or worse bad?
So far, they're rolling pretty crappy. What is the point of this gambling game?
You hit it. You hit the thing you in, I suppose. Keep going around, throwing in a gelt.
What's that?
I suppose you keep going around and you then rake in the money once you actually hit it.
Okay. Yeah, it's a couple rounds, but is it like almost like a game of 21 with dice?
What I'm assuming.
Okay. So the first guy rolls pretty crappy, pretty low numbers, so he's pretty far away from 21. Second guy, a little bit better. Third guy, even a little bit better than that. And then it's your roll. Roll against your gamble.
So 33. I got my trick, so I need to beat a 53. Nope. Okay.
So you rolled horrible.
Oh, another one.
Nope. We're going to go round next round.
No, I mean throw in another since I didn't get it. Oh, I had to roll. I had to throw it in beforehand. Never mind.
Oh, you didn't use your invoke?
No, I did. I meant throw in another guilt since it's going.
Oh,
on the
right.
table.
Yes. Throw in another. Everybody kind of rolled really crappy that round, so everybody goes around and throws in another gelt, and they keep on going. First guy rolls. He's at 20 out of 21. He's pretty close. Next guy goes. He rolls crappy. He gets a couple points. He's still pretty far. Oh, next guy just sucks big time. Your go, Shrek.
Nope.
Just
Almost
missed it.
2
Eh?
points off. Yep.
So you're pretty close.
Okay. So 3.
Final round of betting's up.
All right.
Players 2 and 3 both withdraw. Player 1 throws in an extra 4 thrown gelt. Do you match?
Yep. Put you up to 7.
Bets are in. Everybody's dice is on the ground. He busts.
Ha ha ha.
Oh, and you crush it. You get a perfect 21.
What did I get?
16 thrown gold.
16 gain. Awesome.
Wow, nice.
10 gain, sorry, you spent 6.
10 gain. Okay.
Still, it's better than the monthly gelt you get.
The guy that just came close to winning curses and leaves the table. As he's leaving, you hear him mutter something about psychers.
Oh,
Interesting. I'm going to leave that alone. Pocket my ill-gotten goods. Then leave back to the cabin.
Head back to your cabin? Okay.
Yeah. At that mention, yeah, I'm out of here. That's okay. He's never seen me before.
He'll forget you soon enough. Or will he?
Yeah, I'd
Okay,
better
so you're
leave
back
that
at the
alone.
cabin. Are you still cleaning your gun, Nico?
yeah, I haven't seen anything interesting going on.
Do you have a name for your gun that you want to share with everybody?
Still haven't come across her.
Reparo, are you communing with the machine spirits?
I am indeed.
Awesome.
Actually, I think I came up with something.
What would you like to do?
Fits my backstory. Name of the gun:
Okay.
Retribution.
Retribution, I like it. So Nico and Retribution. So when you're cleaning your gun, do you incorporate into the sacred unguents, do you say the name?
No, I think it would be more of a silent ritual,
Okay.
and it's more of envisioning me killing that gang leader
Okay.
that sold me out.
Like it. Okay, so you guys hang out in the cabin for a couple hours. Nothing particularly exciting seems to be happening. When suddenly, there's a faint hum in the ship. Normally, it kind of permeates everything, and you almost forget it's there, except it kind of tickles at the back of your head. When all of a sudden, it just disappears, and it's
What disappears?
this hum that's kind of permeating the hull of the ship.
Okay.
At the first,
Constantly,
when you first, what's that?
You say this hum is happening all the time?
It's always there, and when you first boarded the ship, Nico, you noticed it, and it was a little irritating, but you got used to it. Eli and Reparo, you were used to it. It's kind of just the way the ships are, where all of a sudden it just disappears, and like you're so used to it being there, like the silence that it caused, it's just like it's sucked out, and like it's deafening almost. You just kind of like, what the heck just happened?
Is it like still happening, or is it just something
The
that
hum
happened
just
quickly
disappeared, like where you were in this kind of constant humming sound. It just kind of like stopped, and now you're in dead silence, except for like
Well,
the
Are all the
cooking.
me,
lights
it was
on still and everything?
What's that?
so for me it was just a little odd. For them, it was like extremely odd.
They knew what it was. Yeah, when this disappeared, like this was very disconcerting for them.
Okay,
You might have been like, oh, relief, thankfully.
That probably would have broke me
Thank
out of my
God.
prayer.
Yeah, so you
I'd-
snap out of it.
Yeah, I'd be looking around to see if everything looks the same, like lighting and so on, and I'll probably interface with the machine spirits to talk to them and see what they say.
Before you're even able to interface with the machine spirits, you go to approach the wall. There's a number of displays. When all of a sudden the lights in the room just go black, the panels come back up. They turn all purple. All of them turn purple with a giant warning sign: warp breach.
Okay.
The largest screen in the room displays a schematic of the Black Comet, the ship you're on. So it's a sideways schematic, and you can see Deck 6. You can see where the marketplace is, and then just past that would be the cargo hulls, which extend for like the rest of the ship all the way forward. And you see a ping, a pulsating purple dot, just above the marketplace.
Okay. Do we know what a void breach is, or for our characters, or?
Reparo, roll me a knowledge check against. Is there a knowledge for ship?
I have a forbidden lore of the warp.
This is more of a tech.
Okay.
Can't hear him. He said this is more of a tech.
What's that?
Nothing. It's repeating what you said because it sounded like it trailed off.
Oh, sorry. I faced away from the mic. You have Forbidden Lore War?
Yep.
Repeat.
You have Forbidden Lore Warp.
Yeah. It's not very high, but
This doesn't fit against anything.
we'll just get this out of the way in case. No, it wouldn't even matter.
Nope. You have no idea what's going on. Okay, give me a knowledge tech use. It'll fit under either warp or tech. You know exactly what that hum was. That was the Geller field that maintained protection against the warp. It just shut down.
Okay. I'd like to try and interface with the console if I can, if there's still power and so on.
Okay.
I want to try and get a hold of Cortez Ravion. He's responsible for the Geller field generator.
Oh.
Okay.
So, do you want me to do another tech use or lore, or what would you like from that?
Interface tech use. Actually, never mind. You just interface with it, and
Yeah.
you get a message that the entire level is locked down.
Our level or the
your
level
level.
I'm trying to get hold?
Communication or use of the technology or the systems on the level are restricted.
Okay.
Shortly after this, you start hearing screams coming from outside the room,
Outside the room.
outside your cabin.
Okay.
The purple dot continues to flash above the market.
Okay. Now, even though it's locked down, does that mean communications are locked down? Everything is locked down? Or just doors are locked down?
Did you want to try communications?
Yeah.
Does he know what to do in one of these types of situations because he comes from a ship? It's like, you would think of like an earthquake. If someone lived in California, they would know like the standard procedures for warp breach.
Yeah, I was on a military ship, so I would think that I know something about it.
With the 30, I'll give that you know, so you know what caused.
Yeah.
The warp. Give me a general knowledge.
The protocols might be different from ship to ship. Let me just roll like a D100.
Yeah, give me general knowledge against your int. You clearly remember training day, where they taught you what to do in the situations of a warp breach, which were get the hell away from the warp breach.
Okay, we're on the 6th level.
Yeah.
Is Nicodemus still in the room with me, or did he leave?
I'm with you. Well, yeah, I'm in the room.
Okay. I look back at him and I say, I've consulted the machine spirits. We need to leave and get away from this level as quickly as possible.
There's something wrong with this level?
There's a warp breach.
Better not be that goddamn Psyker guy again.
I'm in here, are I not?
My thoughts exactly is what I would probably say.
Did I make it back yet?
You're in there.
I'm just gonna look at it.
I didn't know if he was in the room or not. I thought he was still gambling. I
No,
didn't
all
realize.
three of you are in the room.
Okay.
Then he probably wouldn't have said that. And I wouldn't have said what I said. Okay.
I'd probably say it.
So you
anyway.
exchange a glance that conveys that thought. You're like,
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what we did.
So now with those checks, do I know if everything is locked down, or do I know specifically what's locked down? Just access to the other floors, or is it all the doors?
When you interfaced with the computer, you got details of the lockdown, which are that communications is shut down, access is restricted to any information systems within the computer, and levels require rank 3 officer. Sorry, not levels. Access to the doors and elevators between levels requires a rank 3 officer or higher.
So just the doors to get to other floors.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Well, everybody's probably running away from it. Shouldn't we run towards it? We'll meet less resistance.
I look at him puzzled. Like, no, we must get away from the warp breach.
But there are ways to access the other levels from the marketplace.
Yes, but we must get away as far away from the breach as possible. I'm just baffled at his willingness to run towards the chaos.
You continue to hear the screams outside your door.
Well, let's get out of here. And I
I walk over towards the door.
put a bullet in my rifle and cock it.
So you open the door?
Now, so we just know there is a warp breach. We don't know what happens during a warp breach.
You don't know, and your Psyker doesn't know either.
Okay.
The specifics of the warp and what happens during a breach or causes or the effects of exposure to a breach would fall under Forbidden Lore warp.
Would that be contained by the machine spirits at all? If I consult the machine, I can try, I guess. But
You could try.
yeah, I will try. I'll try that then. I'll try consulting and asking if they can tell us anything about what typically happens during a warp breach. What am I rolling my lore again?
You're accessing. So you're trying to bypass through a restricted system.
I guess, yeah. If it's locked down, then that's what
Yeah.
I'll have to do.
Give me tech at -20.
Wish I would have had my last roll for that.
This is hard. The systems are completely locked down.
Yeah, I understand. Ugh.
You critically fail, and that computer actually just shuts down.
Okay.
Let's
Well-
get out of here, I say.
We should probably get to the nearest access to another floor. I grabbed the mechadendrite and the tablets and any of my other belongings.
Just I walk over to the door and pull it open a little bit.
So you see a couple people run by. Your quarters are fairly close to them. Well, probably midway between this entire level, between the back of the level and where the marketplace is. So you just see streams of people just running by.
Are they all going in the same direction?
They're kind of panicked and fleeing, yeah. All kind of... The doorway opens up into the hallway that runs with the keel of the ship. So if you were to follow that hallway to the front, you could follow it to the bow of the ship or to the stern of the ship. And it's a straight shot.
But so, I mean, are people heading in if they're all heading to the left, then I'll go to the left.
They're all heading to the right, towards the stern of the ship.
That's what I will suggest that we do. Once I am notified that people are fleeing, I guess I'll peek out the door as well. Once I get the stuff.
Every once
Is
in
it
a while,
really
you
crowded?
see one of the camoed guys kind of fighting the crowd, moving the opposite direction towards the breach.
Right. I'm just gonna say, it isn't our place. This isn't our battle to fight. We have to get to safety.
I'll turn to my tech priest friend. We are the ones on the scene.
Yes, but we've been requested for service from out of game. What was his name again?
Captain Ragu. It's
Ragu, yeah, Ragu.
Ragul Saturnius Orbitus.
And what's his title again? He's called
The
a
Inquisitor.
Inquisitor. Right.
So the top of the top.
Yes, we've requested by service for the Inquisitor. We must complete that mission. We can't risk failing him.
How likely do you think it is we'll complete that mission if we never make it to the planet in the first place?
The personnel on the ship, I'm sure, are well equipped to handle this situation. It's our place to get to safety.
Have you spoken with anyone on this ship? I think if we don't go, we're doomed.
Just as a point of reference, on both of your ships previously, there's never been a warp breach. It is almost unheard of.
Yeah. Fair enough. That's why I feel the powers that be should be taking care of this, and it's our duty to get away from the breach like we're supposed to.
I look to both of them. There is a reason we were selected. They can't deal with this.
If we were selected to handle a warp breach, we wouldn't be on this level of the ship.
I don't
I'm
really
not
know
saying
what
that.
breach is, but I can't put a bullet in it, can I?
I'm sure you can put a bullet in whatever might come out. But don't shoot too quickly.
The warp is unpredictable, and there's not a lot of information available for this particular situation that I have access to.
You're telling me the warp is unpredictable?
Apparently. I suppose you might know some on the topic with your unique skill set.
Why, yes.
Are we all going to turn into psychers?
Okay, so I'm obviously full of crap, so they can tell I'm lying. But
I
What do you-
just face bomb.
that's a deceive.
Oh,
There's probably no harm at all.
I say, are we all going to turn into psychers?
It's
Only if
unlikely.
you're lucky.
roll me Forbidden Lore, and I'll tell you how much you know of that.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Ryan? Or,
Nah, I'm still off.
You don't
Missed
know.
it by 14 points.
I don't want to be a psyker.
The warp causes. The warp causes all sorts of bizarre events.
Oh, yeah. So, come on. Let's go to see what's going on. If nothing else, at least you can pick up a shiny new gun.
From here?
I'm sure. There's not going to be anyone there to stop you.
What's wrong with the gun I have? I pat my rifle.
you do as you wish. I'm seeking access to the nearest exit to the next level of the ship.
And that's back that way at the marketplace.
I'm with Repair Dude.
Being that I have the layout of the ship, do I know that where the nearest access would be? That's or this particular floor. I'm asking this out of character, obviously.
Sorry, what's that?
Do I know where the actual nearest exit is on the? I mean, I should know this. I had the whole layout of the place, did I not?
Yeah, there's on both the starboard and port sides of this ship, there's a number of stairwells. Also, dead center behind is sorry, not dead center behind. Dead center of the living quarters is a number of elevator banks.
Okay, I'll start heading towards the closest one.
Okay, so
I'll
you
say,
open the door and you see the troops run by.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
As you exit, you see on the display all incursion detected. All armed personnel to Sector 1, Level 6, and it pings right where the warp breach is in the market.
Okay. I'll keep heading towards the nearest safe exit.
Okay. So you're going with the flow of the unarmed crew, and you
Yep.
see a couple camo guys pass you by.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm sticking to the protocol. Or to my best knowledge of what the protocol is.
I look at him and go back with the crowd.
So you're falling towards the back of the ship also?
No, I look at him go that way.
Oh, okay.
Turn to the other one as, you seem to be of a tougher sort. Will you join me?
Going into the warp?
Apparently flesh is much tougher than metal.
Shouldn't we get off this level?
I can't guarantee it's going to be totally safe, but I really think they'll need our help. We should stick together.
I don't know. I can't see us doing anything to help them out.
I definitely can't see us helping if we run that way.
Well, I could see us staying alive.
Don't you ever gamble?
Is the door to the room still open?
Yep.
I only believe in sure bets.
Do you have your guns visible?
Yep, I do.
Okay, you
No.
see one of the camo guys run by, and then he stops, or you don't see him stop, but all of a sudden you see him kind of back up, tilt his head through, and say, "Didn't you hear the message? Get all the guns to the warp."
All right.
Well, you heard him. Let's go. Pull out my compact las pistol.
Fine. And I head that way.
Truck in.
So you dodge your way past the screaming non-combat personnel. You, after a couple minutes, make your way up, and you see the opening of the marketplace. Now, Nico, you haven't been to the marketplace?
Nope.
No. Eli, you realize that it looks completely different. Like, there was a number of daylight panels and kind of like that simulated almost like being on a planet, and those are all offline, and you can see the cold dark metal beams and the dim emergency lighting, and this place looks completely different, grim and dark, some might say.
Mm-hmm.
You pick up on a faint smell of ozone. This is as you just enter the kind of the opening. You can still hear screams of terror coming from in front of you, towards the left, against what would be the railing overlooking the cargo hold.
All right. I've got a gun in this hand. Take my dice and start shaking them. So I'm going to have to roll an invocation check. Because I'm prepping, which I succeed. So I'm just mumbling and rolling my dice.
Okay.
Big money, big money.
Okay, so you're sitting right underneath the balcony. The balconies that are above. You're not sitting. I guess you're standing, and you hear the doors, and you hear the feet, the footsteps from what you don't know what it is, but you hear footsteps above you, and a lot of them in a marching pattern. Do you check out any further?
Oh, I'm going towards the screaming.
Okay.
If it's up in the middle of this mess, to where I best think it would be.
Okay, so as you come around the corner of one of those buildings on the outsides of the market, you see that all of the vendor carts and everything have been turned over, and they're in complete shambles. There's like fruit and vegetables and all kinds of produce just strewn around the area.
Okay.
A faint shimmer catches your eye. It's slightly distorted off to the left in the distance. Again, where that the railing overlooking the cargo hold would be.
Mm-hmm.
It almost looks like the shimmer of heat on pavement.
Mm-hmm.
There's a faint pink glow. A couple people stream by you.
Yeah.
Are you continuing further?
Yep.
Okay. As you get further, there is an opening, what used to be a food court. Tables are overturned. There's chairs. There's a number of bodies. Some have been trampled.
Yeah.
Some are underneath the wreckage of the tables and chairs. Some appear obviously dead, whereas others you can hear faint moaning. And you get a good view of the source. You follow the shimmering down, and you see a small fissure about a foot in diameter, hovering about 10 feet above the air, just beyond the edge of the balcony.
Okay.
You're witnessing an actual breach into the warp. I need a fear check.
Okay. Rolled against
Willpower.
my willpower is a 42. I fell by 2 points.
So you are feared. Well, I'm looking up the mechanic of this. It's page 329. Nico, what are you doing?
If I see him start to panic and get all scared and shit, I'm gonna grab him and try and get the fuck out of there.
So you're going behind him? Normally, are you following behind him?
Well, it depends, because like it how crazy this looks.
It's pretty
not-
chaotic. You see the same thing he does. You see the shimmering.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna like I'd be pretty creeped out to begin with, so I'd just like try and grab him and get out of there without like.
Okay,
he
let's
was
find
like,
out
a good
exactly
few feet ahead
how
of me.
scared
Yeah.
he is. So you failed on a fears check, so you're going into shock. So you need to roll a D100, and you would add 10 for every degree of failure. So you have no degrees of failure. So just a straight up D100.
Okay. Let's see here. Another willpower check then, technically?
Just a D100, just to see how scared you are. Higher is worse. Not too bad. So fear grips you. You begin to shake and tremble. You take a -10 penalty on all tests for the rest of the encounter, unless you recover your wits.
Does it say how to recover your wits?
It
It's
does.
just like exposure.
All right.
You may snap out of it by making another willpower test next turn.
Okay.
And you can keep trying every turn if you fail.
All right.
So you just see him just shudder and shake, staring kind of in awe.
Okay. So instead of grabbing him because he's not that scared, I'd just be like, "Let's get out of here."
They're here.
From the fissure, Shreg, you also saw there's small streams of purple energy coming off the fissure. Think of like one of those electron globe thingies.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
They whip
smashing
around
things.
violently. There's also a large stream of flickering purple energy that can be seen leaving the fissure and appears to be making contact behind the ground making contact with the ground behind a large grouping of overturned tables. You can't actually see what's behind them. You also see 2 women and a man seen cowering very close to the fissure behind some overturned vendors' carts. The fissure's on the left-hand side of the market. They're behind the carts on the right-hand side, kind of with their hands over their head, backs against the cart, kind of just terrified.
Okay.
Sorry, continue with your action, Nico.
That was it. That was it. Let's get out of here.
All
Just
right.
like crackling energy sounds.
Let's get them out of here.
So you want to
I need to
get closer to these people?
I want to get them out of here. I need to make a willpower check along the way. I'm sure I've got to try to figure out how to get over this. Nope.
Give me a...
No good.
Now that you see what... Actually, let's take a break, and we're going to come
Okay.
back with hour 2,
All right.
and we're going to find out how we survived the warp breach.